Today is Saturday. Obviously, no live trading, but I did want to go over some concepts, some reason to some of the phenomenon you see in the market, and some ideas that I've been working on and puzzles, let's say, that I am yet to solve. But let's start with this. You receive these alerts, group members receive these alerts every evening. These are buy sell levels for 7 futures instruments. And a few things you know by now if you've been watching these videos, or definitely if you are a group member, you know that these levels, in this case, the NASDAQ was a buy at 12,081. They're not only, let's say, an area to buy, these areas also tend to pull the market up. So price tends to accelerate toward, in this case, a buy level as price approaches it. This buy level is, I guess, for lack of a better word, a gravitational force. Everything in the universe is a force, right? So markets are part of the universe, and so there are forces within the market. So price comes up, and you know, as price comes up to the buy trigger, you know that the market is in a stronger position and you should be looking for long trades. So that's something we went over before. But I want to describe something, and I hope it's not going to sound contradictory, because it's not. And I'm going to try and be clear. So price comes up, goes through the trigger. And again, group members see this every day. And if you've been watching my videos, you see it every time I put out a video. Price always tends to come back to the, in this case, the buy trigger a number of times. Always tends. Now, why? Why does this happen? Well, here is the reason. I just described to you that this area, this level, has some kind of a gravitational force, an attraction. But it does not stop once price is over it. It is still a gravitational force. So what happens when price is above it? Well, now it's pulled down to it. Now, you're going to say, but wait a minute, don't you tell us if you are at, close, or above, definitely, the buy trigger, the market is in a stronger position, but now you're saying it's going to go down. So it's not exactly contradictory, but it is. Okay, so yes, the market is in a stronger position, and as a new trader or someone who is new to the group, I would never suggest you take a short trade. Do not do that. However, the fact is that this area is still pulling. It was pulling up before. Now that the price is above, it's pulling down. And it happens again, and it happens again, and it happens again. So here is how I'm going to try and explain this. If you can imagine a rubber band, right? So as price starts to leave, this is still pulling, and now it's a rubber band that is stretching. Two things could happen. If the force that tries to pull the rubber band apart is stronger than the rubber band, this rubber band will snap, and price is going to go much, much higher in this case. But if the rubber band is stronger, if this attraction is stronger than what's pulling the price up, price will come back to it. And we see this, again, price is leaving. So now imagine the rubber band is stretching, right? It's stretching, and just not strong enough, it comes back to it. So, but what is attracting this? Why does this happen? Well, there is a next level. This level I do not publish. Number one, it's still a work in progress. And number two, it's going to get too confusing. There is a level, well, in this case, yesterday, it was at 12,193. 12,193. And so now it's going to try and pull this price up toward it. But as long as it's closer to here, This one, this force, this area is still stronger and gonna pull the price down. Now, again, it's this idea that, let's not go so fast. Price is again at the trigger level. It tries to leave because now this is trying to pull it up. Now the question is, what is stronger? This area that is a buy area, that means the market is in a stronger position. But as price leaves and goes higher, it's trying to pull it down. Is this stronger in pulling it up? Or is this stronger, in this case, in pulling the price down toward it? So again, in the rubber band example, what happens? Let's say you have two hands that are trying to stretch this rubber band, right? If the rubber band snaps, your hands, just from the force of it, are gonna pull apart. They're gonna move apart from each other. And that's what happens here now. This area was not strong enough to hold the price down. And that's why you don't try to short a strong market, because it can snap, it can snap in your face. So yes, I mean there was some short opportunities, but it's way too advanced. There is a way of doing it. I'm not gonna discuss it here because I don't want anyone to get into bad habits. The point is, market is in a stronger position. What you should be aware of, that there is a force that in this case, when the price is here, it's going to pull it down. And the question is price strong enough? And by price strong enough, what I mean is the next level strong enough to pull the price away from this buy level and toward the next level? Okay, so now let's keep going now. So now we have a situation, right? Now price is closer to this 12,193, which is the next level. And by the way, on most days, you will not see this. On most days, price would find it very difficult to get to the next level. That's what we pretty much call a directional move, right? We say the market today was directional. And if you think over a period of a month, let's say how many days there are that markets are just directional, there aren't too many. This happens less, well, definitely less than 50% of the time, but maybe even less than 25% of the time. So, so yeah, price now gets pulled toward 12,193, and here is what happens. It reaches 12,193, and now it's pulling back. But we have this price, the original buy level, is now trying to pull the price down, but this price is too far. It already reached the next level. This level should be strong enough to pull the price now back up toward it. And this is what we see. In this case, it's very legitimate to try and find a long setup, and group members should be able to see the setup. You should be able to find a way to go long toward again this next level, 193. Now it's the same exact thing now. Price leaves 193, but what happens right now? This 193 is still acting as a force, but when price is above it, well, now it's pulling it down. It leaves, right? Now, why? How come it's going higher? Well, because there is another level at, I think it was 287. 287. But at this point, price is just too far, and chances are it will come back to this next level. And that's why so often you hear me say, try to be patient and allow price to come back. It's coming back. Here we go. So it touches again this 193. At this point, this force is almost non-existent at this point. This really has no effect. This is trying to pull price up, but price is just too far, wasn't strong enough, and so it came back over this level. And now it just kind of hangs around here. Back and forth, back and forth. All right, now it tries to leave. It is still, if you can imagine, a halfway point closer to this level here, which means this area can still pull the price down. But the closer price gets here, the more this area now is going to start pulling the price up. Here we go. It is really close now. Now, again, this level has nothing anymore. This level still has some force pulling, but now this one is taking over for sure. And here it is. Okay. So, again, Friday was a very unusual day in that sense. Not only did it reach one level above, it actually reached the second one. And something like this happens maybe once a month. Maybe. That is 10% at most, probably 5% of the time you see this kind of a thing. That is unusual. As far as I'm concerned, not really tradable because it is so unusual. But now, so now it's again the same thing. I don't even know what the next level was. There was always the next level, obviously. But at this point, I don't even know. All I know is at this point, this is going to start pulling the price down. And here it is. Comes back pretty much with a tick. And now it actually comes back and tests this level. So I hope this wasn't too confusing. Now I want to show you another market, again, from yesterday. And I want you to think again the idea of the rubber band stretching. So in this case, if we go back, the rubber band snapped and price went right to the next level. This rubber band idea, and it's a metaphor, obviously. I don't know exactly how to how to describe it, but that's the closest I can come. If the rubber band is not strong enough, price is going to go to the next level. Let me show you an instance when the rubber band is strong enough and what could happen if instead of price breaking this force, what happens if this force is much stronger? Hold on. Okay, so this is oil, and oil, the post from Thursday evening into Friday was a sell at 77.45, a buy at 78.40. So obviously the short side triggered first, 77.45, and now price is going lower. It's going lower, market is in a weaker position, right? Yes, you are only looking for short trades, beginning anywhere from like here, definitely. You are looking for price to come down and hit the trigger and probably go below the trigger, possibly substantially below the trigger short. So again, think of the rubber band. Rubber band is stretching, 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 stretching. This area now that was before attracting the price down, this sell area was attracting the price down. It is now starting to do what? It is still attracting price, but now it's going to be the other way, right up. So this rubber band stretched and now snapped back. And because of the force involved, it not only got back to the trigger short, it went completely the other way. So in this case, the rubber band won. right? This force down was not strong enough to overcome this attraction. And the rubber band snapped back, went not only back to the sell trigger, but all the way the other way to the buy trigger, and did not even stop at the buy trigger, went to the next level. In this case, in the oil, it was 79.17, I believe. Straight back, 79.17, touches it. So the amazing thing was, and again, this was more of an unusual thing. The fact that price came back to the trigger short, that's not unusual. This happens all the time. We see it every day. The fact that it went straight to the buy trigger, slightly less unusual. Sorry, slightly less usual. I guess like slightly more unusual than this, but it happens. It happens a lot where price goes from trigger short to trigger buy. This by itself, no big deal. But it did not even retest the trigger long. And that is somewhat unusual. This move, this snap of the rubber band was so powerful that it got not only to the buy trigger, but to the next trigger buy without even retesting this. Once it got here, though, it slowed down. So now this area is definitely pulling the price down from here. And again, I'm not saying to take short. Do not. Once price starts heading toward the buy trigger, let's say maybe from this point, you want to forget about shorts. Forget shorts. See if you can find a way to get long. That's it. Gets beyond it. Let's see if it even retested. It does not even retest, not so far. Nope. I don't know what the next level is. It's very possible it went up to the next level. So that's an extreme demonstration of what happens when this rubber band idea, when this force snaps and this is just not strong enough, the rubber band wins, and it could result in a phenomenal move the other way. So one of the things I've been working on, because I don't have the answer to this puzzle, there must be a way to measure this force. There must be a way to measure, first of all, if there is enough force to bring the market back to the trigger. Most of the time it does happen. It's a regular occurrence that trigger levels get tested and retested. I'm not sure at this point, it's something I've been working on, how to measure the strength of this move. Where is it just going to stop at the trigger and then go back down? Or it's going to go completely the other way. So today we saw these two extremes, right? We saw the NASDAQ, where just could not be stopped, started going long and did not stop. And then we saw another extreme, a market that starts very weak, right? Over here, the market is in a weaker position. You just want to take shorts, and then just snaps back. And then from this point around here, all you want to do is take longs. And that's why you should not try and get short once the market is telling you it is now strong. Yes, it was weak before. Now it's strong. Don't be stubborn. Don't keep trying to take short trades in the market that is telling you that it could go substantially higher. Even when it gets to the next level and you say, well, but isn't it unusual now for it to keep going up? Yes, it is. It for sure is unusual. That does not mean it will not happen. So you never try to get in front of a freight train. And that's what this is. This kind of a snap, this is so powerful. You get in front of it and you're gonna get run over. So don't do that. So again, those of you who follow these levels, you're gonna find over time that there are, beyond just being trades, they really begin to give you after a while an understanding of market forces. And if I can, in time, because right now I don't have the answer, but if I can figure out a way to measure the force that makes the market, because this is a force. Forget about buying and sellers. There is a force that is involved that gives you this. And if there is a way to measure it, and there is a way to measure it, I just don't have it yet. Once I figure out a way to measure it, it would be very interesting. It would be, I guess, next level kind of trading when members might be able to eventually go for longer targets, but that's still all of that is far away. Right now, as I always say, focus on $100 per contract per day. That's it. There was a short, and there was a way to get early on the short, and then it's a long. There was a way to get early on the long, and at this point, as a group member, that's all you are concerned about. But I just wanted to share this idea, and that I am working on a way to measure all these market forces and then be able to share them with you, maybe just as an addition to this. I hope in time, or we'll see. So that's it, guys. Enjoy your weekend.